Being good at coding is only part of being a good software engineer. If you can't explain your decisions, get people behind your ideas, or understand what the customer actually needs, a lot of that technical ability goes to waste. These are the three non-technical skills I think make the biggest difference. The first point is being able to explain or teach things to technical and non-technical people. In your role, you need to understand the type of lingo you can use with technical and non-technical folks. If someone is non-technical, it is better to keep things simple and omit certain pieces of information in case they start overthinking or ask too many irrelevant questions because of the information you gave them. With non-technical people, you want to try to explain things in a way they will understand without a foundational understanding of software engineering. Likewise, with technical people, you can go into the technical details and weeds to articulate your thoughts and ideas. Learning to keep things simple and articulate the key ideas so they know exactly what you're trying to say is the most important thing. To practice this, the Feynman technique is quite effective. Being able to really break something down to its simplest quote-unquote form and articulate it is the best way to explain something. Just assume your audience is made up of 5-year-olds, as that is probably the best way to really explain something simply. The second point, related to the first point, is knowing how to sell. Everything in life is sales. You might be thinking, I'm an engineer. What do you mean sales? Isn't that for people who are trying to sell to potential customers? Obviously, you're not doing actual direct customer sales, but you'll be trying to sell your ideas and decisions. Why pick a certain technology over others? This will involve quote-unquote sales to articulate your idea. Just to clarify, there will be many other factors beyond just selling a technology choice that will impact the final decision, but pushing your idea forward will start with being able to sell it. To add to this, if you can sell your ideas, you can start influencing people on your team and subsequently in your organization. I have to preface this though by saying that in some companies, if it is very top down, there's probably not much you can do. But I always believe you can say your piece, and whether or not upper management listens is another issue in itself. Being able to articulate your ideas clearly and effectively is necessary. For example, let's say I want to create an internal benchmark tool for my company's AI features. The tool could give us insight into which models perform best and allow us to define and control what we consider a correct model output. To sell this idea, I would need to explain the problem it solves and why the company should spend time building it. I could talk about how it would help us compare models, make better decisions about which ones to use, and evaluate outputs consistently instead of relying on someone's opinion. I am not just explaining how to build the tool, I'm selling why it should be valuable to the company. Most engineers probably got into this field straight after university, so they might not have the life experience of working in something completely different from this field. I see this as a disadvantage, as people who came from non-technical backgrounds into this technical field often have better social skills, and even more so if they have a sales background. Knowing how to sell is part of influencing your colleagues and organization to support your ideas and approaches to things. You can practice this without taking a sales job. The next time you propose a refactor, don't only explain what is technically cleaner, explain the problem it solves, why the team should care, and what the trade-offs are, and what you want them to agree to. That is selling an idea. The third point is empathy. Being able to empathize with your customer or client, whether technical or non-technical, is important for understanding why they are making certain decisions. Anticipating what they might ask you or even what they want to achieve is important, and it can give you a big advantage in delivering what your customer needs. Developing empathy requires you to put yourself quote-unquote in their shoes and ask why they are telling you or asking you for this. Simply asking them why they want it can also lead them to give you more information on how to approach what they want to achieve. Not only that, empathy will also allow you to understand who you are interacting with and the best way to interact with them. For example, a non-technical person will probably care more about the end user product, and how you achieve that technically might not matter to them. Understanding this, you can emphasize during your demos how the end user might interact with or use your product, while omitting the nitty-gritty technical details. This is obviously related to the first point, as they are interconnected. To practice empathy, unfortunately, if you're a psychopath, you probably won't have it, but assuming you are the client or customer and seeing things from their perspective so you can understand why they are asking something of you is probably the best way to empathize with someone. This takes experience, so the more you can interact with them, the better you are. Also, being interested in what they are saying and drilling down to the root cause is probably the best way to understand what they want. Technical skills help you build good solutions. Explaining, selling, and empathy help other people understand, support, and actually use those solutions. Pick the one you are the weakest at and practice it in your next meeting, proposal, or demo. Peace.